So a common misconception about kickers is that they're the skinny, unathletic kid that can't contribute at a different position. In reality, kickers are people too. We can go out there and make some plays and have an impact on the game too. I grew up on a farm with 9 siblings.
Growing up in that environment, doing a lot of work with each other, bucking hay and chopping wood and cleaning horse stalls, we liked to fight.
It started with the older sibling rivalry.
Fighting was for recreation and also a way that we would handle disputes.
And then just kind of transitioned from there into sports.
Of all the brothers, we definitely had kind of more of that taste for aggression and the thrill of combat.
I wasn't as focused on fighting growing up. I was more focused on team sports and trying to take that to the next level.
Any sport that he could do, he was doing. And he became really athletic. He would pick up on sports really quickly. He would learn skills quickly. He was always working out. He was really strong for his size and for his age.
Can anybody get open for him? He'll roll right, lets it go. Fight this guy.
The crowd goes wild and my family goes wild. People couldn't believe what they had just seen, and seeing how happy that made my whole family, seeing how excited they were that BYU just won in this exciting way, was the moment where I knew I wanted to be a part of that someday.
Put it in your books, the Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Year.
So freshman year, football's going well. I'm playing safety and playing running back. I'm getting a lot of playing time, and I'm looking at the rest of my high school career, excited to go and make a name for myself, and then it all kind of comes to a halt.
When Andrew got hit by the truck and suffered a lot of damage to his head, that really limited his options for sports.
One day I'm out running with my brother. It's evening time, so it's low light, it's rainy, so visibility isn't ideal. I don't even look, I just meander across the street behind him, but not as quickly, and got hit by a truck.
Andrew had always said from a young age that it was one of his goals to play on the BYU football team. And we all kind of wondered, well, how's that gonna happen? The brain surgeon said that you shouldn't play football, you shouldn't get any concussions, and you should avoid any sport that causes a lot of impact to your head.
The injuries I sustained from that was femur fracture and a cerebral hemorrhage, bad brain impact.
And we kind of wondered what he was gonna do to accomplish that goal, and so he went to kicking. And he had no experience kicking, and he would just drive to local high schools, and he would just practice kicking the football for hours.
I really struggled, was not good for the first while, actually, and couldn't even get it high enough to make it over the crossbar, and the heckling was brutal. But kicking was my only option at that point, and football was far and away my favorite sport. It was my passion at the time. And so, despite the discouragement, I just kept at it. I went out there every day. The coaches at BYU said, hey, we like what we see, we'd love to bring you on. And so I went through the application process, sent in my transcripts. I had good grades. I thought that there shouldn't be any reason why I don't get accepted. And then I got the rejection letter. And so I couldn't stand being that close and letting a rejection letter derail my dreams and goals. So the head of admissions made a deal with me. He listened to what I had to say, and he said, look, you come in and take a full course load in spring and summer semesters, and you get a 4.0, and we will reconsider you for admission. But that's all I got for you. That's the best I can do. And I just said, done. BYU was everything that I had dreamed it would be and more. My first ever kick for BYU was against University of Texas my freshman year, and I actually ran down and made the tackle. And then my last ever kick for BYU in our bowl game my senior year, I ran down there and made the tackle. So it was kind of funny bookends to a fun and long and successful career at BYU, and it just kind of is a funny segue into what I do now, which is hit people in the face.
I knew from fighting him in the street that he would be really good, and invited him to come to our gym. And his first class here, which was jiu-jitsu, he did really, really well.
Literally after about 2 weeks, I was like, okay, this guy's got what it takes.
Fast forward to now, I'm 5 fights into my fighting career. I'm 4-1. I lost one via decision, and it's been everything I had hoped it would be and more.
In the 5 fights that I have seen, he has continuously progressed. And not by a little bit, right? By a lot. So having success early on in the fight, like for instance, a 38-second knockout, right? A lot of people would say, oh man, and pat on the back and just go off and maybe enjoy the success from that. I think Andrew went, okay, hey, that was great. What's next? What should I do next to improve upon that?
I originally took my first fight more as just checking an item off the bucket list. I wanted to take a sanctioned, legitimate MMA fight. But now, having the success that I've had this early on, it's kind of grown more, and my goals have kind of expanded more into taking this professionally.
He has the potential to go really far with fighting. He's able to hang with professional fighters, and he has the work ethic and the drive to definitely compete at a high professional level.
You can't let a small injury, being tired, being sore, not having enough sleep, like that doesn't matter. Everybody goes through that, but you have to be able to show up, be coachable, and continue to make it through that. And that's something that Andrew has, and it's incredible. He has the family, he has the job, and there's a lot of balance, and that's gonna be the biggest challenge. But as long as you don't get it in your head, I'm professional now, I have to take it serious. You should have been taking it serious from the very start, which he did.
Why set a goal if there's not going to be some challenges along the way? That's what drive means to me. I want to make sure that I'm setting lofty goals, things that I'm passionate about, things that I care about, but I also don't want to let the roadblocks get in my way from actually climbing that mountain and achieving those goals.